Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Laura Wilkie with Down Home with Lemon Pie, and this is Baby Week. I am so excited you are coming on this journey with us. This is the second video for this week. If you're not already familiar, this week I'm releasing a brand new video every single day, and they're all related to baby because we are a family with 6 kiddos, and we are about to welcome baby number 7 to our home in just a few weeks. All right, guys, so this is our second video in this series, and this one is all about our baby purchase regrets. Okay, guys, so if you haven't already, please subscribe so you don't miss a video in this series, especially. We're just a Christian family. I stay home with our kiddos. We homeschool them. We have a small farm, kind of a homestead, and like I said, we have 6 kids between the ages of 3 and 10, and we're about to welcome number 7, which is a little girl. And over the years, we have had so many experiences, I guess, involving babies and the purchases and what do you buy, what do you not buy. And as we have grown, as parents, as we have had more children, we have become a very practical family, and there are so many things that we thought were so necessary, like with our first baby, and then by the time we're to where we are now, we have realized a lot of those things were not necessary or needed. They were just things that the world was telling us to buy, so we did. We have grown immensely as parents, and I want to share with you guys some of our most regretted purchases. Okay, right off the bat, with our first daughter, when we were pregnant with baby number 1, we knew we wanted to have more than one child. So we went all out and spent a lot of time researching and finding the best travel system, because we thought for sure if we buy a really nice one with our first baby, we will use it with every child after that. And that obviously was not the case. So for one reason or another, things happened. We had to get a new car seat along the way. At one point, we had to have 2 in a similar car seat. So that kind of negated that whole purchase. Just the overly fancy travel systems. I'm talking about the one we bought was the Peg Perigo, and they are so expensive. I have seen them for $600 for the whole system, $800, $1,000 for a stroller. And I get that you're possibly going to use it a lot. You want to have the safest thing and all the bells and whistles. However, the ones that are much cheaper are actually just as good in our personal opinion. We actually have not used strollers very frequently, so that's not a real necessary purchase, I guess, for our family. When you take the baby out of the car seat, like you pull the car seat with the baby in it, maybe because they're sleeping and you're going into a store to do some shopping, so you take the whole car seat out and you try to get it into the stroller, it doesn't always click right in. Sometimes you got to kind of wiggle and jiggle it. And then, of course, baby wakes up. So there's that. Once you get inside the store with your stroller, it's kind of impractical because unless you're not buying very many things, you don't really have anywhere to put your items that you want to purchase. So you either got to push a stroller and a shopping cart. I don't know what magic mom that is, but we don't do that. So instead we just do a carrier. I'll talk about that in future videos, but where I just wear the baby. And we gave up on the overly expensive travel system. We get the car seat and an inexpensive or used or something that is not really fancy stroller when we need a stroller, but honestly, we don't really use a stroller that much. We don't live in a place where we can do things like walk around the block. We have in the past, and that was handy for things like that. But because we would use it for those purposes, we just kept it either like on the front porch or in the garage. And that, of course, makes it wear down faster. And then it's not really usable for babies 3 or sometimes even baby 2, depending how hard you are on it. So an overly expensive travel system is one of our biggest purchase regrets. Okay, again, with our first child, our first 2 kiddos were little girls, and we went all out. I went to the baby store, to Babies R Us, and you can, while you're making your registry, you can print out like a list of items that they tell you, make sure you buy this and don't forget that, and so we did that. However, when we started going down the list, we just took their advice because we didn't know any different. We were young parents. We didn't know. We never had a baby. And one of the things it said that we needed were towels for the baby. And at the time we thought, oh yes, we need to get towels for the baby, and they have to be special towels, and they have to be pink for girls and blue for boys. They have to have the little hood to keep them warm. All the things, right? And then somewhere along the line, we realized, why can't the baby just use the regular towels that we use? There's nothing why can't the baby just use what we have already? Why are we buying special towels for our baby? So another one of our purchase regrets was the towels. Also, they're in the towel after they get out of their bath. You dry them off. It's literally like a few minutes, right? So it doesn't need the special hood. It doesn't need all these things that the world tells us that our towels have to have, or they're not suitable for a baby. So anyway, another one of our purchase regrets are the special towels. So we live in Texas, and we thought that we had to have a cover for our car seat, like one of those special blankets that is kind of elastic on the bottom to go around the car seat, because we don't want people to touch our baby, right? Okay, well, that has never been an issue. We have never been somewhere where people come and they just want to touch our baby. Not only that, generally, again, I'm wearing the baby because the car seat is so heavy to tote around. I usually just wear the baby. If we're going somewhere inside, like into church or a restaurant, then we'll take the car seat. But honestly, usually my husband's there to carry it. And I don't know, people don't go up to men with babies, at least in our experience, they haven't. Maybe they do in other parts of the country, and just start touching the baby. They'll come up and say it's cute, or what's its name, or how old is this, but they're not touching the baby. So that hasn't really been a thing. We did have one of those covers for the baby. We spent not a terribly lot of money on it, but we did have a nice cover for it. But to me, it was always in the way. I had to move it every time I wanted to check on the baby. I wanted to see if the baby is okay, if it's still breathing, if it's wedged a certain way where it's closed off its air pipe or whatever. And I can't do that if the baby's covered up in a little tent that I can't see them. So for us, the car seat cover was not a practical purchase. Going along with that, because we live in Texas, it's so hot, we actually purchased one of those. You know how you can unfold and put like a reflective thing in front of your, I can't think right now what it's called, but the reflective thing to keep your car cool in the summer. You put it in your windshield. Well, we had a special one with our first child that we could put all over her car seat so that her car seat would not be hot when we got out of the car and then got back in. Just ridiculous. Just ridiculous. They make them because people like us would buy them because we wanted to be good parents, and we didn't want our baby to suffer in any way possible, but it's ridiculous. So if you're really concerned about that, I guess a blanket maybe, but it really wasn't a necessary purchase. It's one of our purchase regrets. All right, going along with covers for car seats, we even had a special cover for the shopping cart. I know a lot of people have this because they're concerned about germs and this and that, probably even more so with the way the world is going. I don't know. but that wasn't something that was necessary in our experience. But we did purchase one. We did tote it around in the car. So we had the diaper bag, we had the car seat reflective cover, we had the other car seat cover, and we had the shopping cart cover. We have all these things that we're collecting in our car on the off chance that baby may get sick. And in reality, it's okay for baby to get sick because baby needs to develop its immune system. So if you're concerned about all of that, again, we just put the baby in the carrier and it's not an issue. But yes, we did have the shopping cart cover, the big fluffy one with the little hooks where you could attach toys. It was just a huge overstatement, and we did not need to have all of that stuff. All right. One of the things that is so fun for everybody to buy for new moms or expectant moms are, and they're so cute to look at, are tiny little shoes, right? Little bitty shoes for baby because they're so cute. However, baby shoes before they are walking are incredibly impractical. Not only that, they can hinder the development of their feet and the way that they learn to walk. So we stay away from all baby shoes until they are actually walking. And even then we just get the soft sole ones. We don't even get the fancy cutesy ones that are technically small versions of adult shoes. We just skip all of that. So shoes before walking, huge purchase regret, things you don't need. All right, so another thing that we did with our first two girls, see, it took us 2 kids. I guess it was our 3rd kid by the time we realized most of these tricks, and most people stop at 2. So I guess maybe they don't realize the impracticalness of a lot of these purchases, but large items for infants. You see these a lot of times in daycares or the church nursery, and they are super, super necessary in those places, but not so much, at least for us, in our home. We wanted to have, or we thought we had to have, everything for the baby. Okay, so we thought we had to have one of those big jumper things it's got the toys all around and the baby sits in the middle and jumps. We actually did use that and we liked it. However, even though we had that, we also thought we needed to have the thing called the Exersaucer, which is just like that, but they don't jump. They just spin around and play with the toys. And we thought we had to have the little play set, which is, it's big and plastic and they can go inside and climb around. So we thought we had to have all these giant things. They're not only incredibly expensive, they're incredibly useless once the baby grows out of them. So you don't even use them for a very long period of time. And then either you have to get rid of them or store them, and then you feel like you have to rebuy them when you have another baby. It's a huge money wasting cycle or storage wasting cycle. So it's not that we don't think you need to have something to put the baby in to give your hands a break. I'll talk about that in another video this week. But we wanted to have all of them. We wanted to have every kind that they made. And they make them all sound so enticing. Like, this one does this, and that's why you need it. And this one does that, and that's why you need this one. And they all sound like, oh yes, we will be terrible parents. They will never learn to jump if they don't have a jumper. Oh my gosh, we have to get one. They will never learn to be able to move their feet so they can walk properly if they don't have an Exersaucer to move around, if they don't have a baby walker, if they don't have fill in the blank giant item. And so the large items for infants, especially when they're not even going to use them for but maybe a few months, was a huge purchase regret in our family. Okay, when everybody finds out you're having a baby, they buy you 2 things. They buy you clothes and they buy you baby toys. Everybody buys you clothes and they buy you baby toys. Now, the clothes obviously are necessary unless you just have a ridiculous amount of clothes and, it just gets overwhelming. But the baby toys especially. And there is such a huge market for baby toys. They are really trying to sell these. So they make them look like they put all the things like they're going to learn language skills by buying this toy, and they will learn social skills if they will not learn social skills if you don't have this toy. And everything sounds like, oh my gosh, my baby's going to be behind if we do not have this exact thing. And it's just ridiculous. Number one, they aren't going to play with them at all. Number two, all the toys that are like telling them their ABCs and all these things, we buy them for our infants and toddlers who aren't learning their ABCs. And by the time they're in preschool, we don't actually buy them because we assume that they are baby toys. So it's kind of a weird thing here. So anyways, baby toys we do not buy. Possibly we will buy one just to have in their hands. But as we had more kids, we realized that a giant Duplo did the trick just as well. A tool from the kitchen that was safe did the trick just as well. A plastic bowl, the kids wanted to play with that just as much as they wanted to play with the $17 little hooky thing that hangs from their car seat. It really did not matter. And so the expensive baby toys, any baby toys really, we just completely regret buying any of them, and we really don't even use them. Going along with the baby toys are overly hyped products. We regret buying things that get too much of a popularity trend with them. Two of the ones we bought with our first two little ones were Sophie, the little giraffe. And I thought we had to have it because all the moms and all the mom groups were saying, you have to have Sophie Giraffe because it is so good. Our baby never cries anymore. And we had a crier. Our first baby cried all the time. And so we were willing to buy and spend whatever we needed to. This Sophie Giraffe at that time, I want to say cost $17 or $19. And in the packaging, I thought, it doesn't really seem like that much, but all these people are raving about it. We have to get it. So we paid the ridiculously high price for this Sophie Giraffe. We brought it home, or I did actually. I should not put my husband in this same category because it was not him, it was me. And I brought it home and I showed it to my husband and I said, look what I bought the baby. It's gonna be our miracle. This is the toy everybody says helps their child and they love it, da 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 da. And I took it out of the packaging and I showed it to my husband. And you know what he said? This is rubbery and squeaky like a dog toy. You bought our baby a dog toy and you spent way too much on it. And I realized he was exactly right. But I was still going to stay firm. It was going to be the best toy. It was going to save our lives. And our crying baby was going to be happy again. And no, our crying baby could care less about this squeaky little rubber toy. Just like she could care less about any other toy that we had purchased because that was not what she was wanting. Babies do not want a specific toy. So that is not going to save the day like as young parents we thought it would. So another one we bought was the Winkle, which was fun because they could grab it and all these things you can, they could hold on to it. That's fun. But again, it's no more special than any other thing that is safe for a baby to hold. So it's, Another thing that we purchased was a swing, not just any swing, the most expensive and fanciest swing we could find that would hook up to our iPhones and play music and all this stuff. We thought it was the best thing ever. It was called Mama Roo. It would rock the baby just like the baby was in Mama's tummy again, all these things. And it was just a huge letdown. Yes, she liked it for a little while, but long enough for us to validate the purchase, no. That did not happen. So it was, a swing is fine, but I don't think that spending your life savings on a swing is a necessary purchase. So any swing I think is fine, but again, you don't need to go overboard like we did and thought we had to have, especially like when we did the fancy travel system, we thought we had to have the best of the best. We did the same thing with her crib, which she ended up becoming a toddler and chewing up all the sides because we thought she's going to grow up with this. We have to get the one that converts to all the things, a toddler bed and a regular bed and all the things. And she became a toddler and chewed all over the sides. And the second baby and third baby did the same, and we just got rid of it by the time we had baby 4 because we didn't really have a place for it and it was kind of in the way, and it was just a huge purchase regret. Okay, the last one is actually not one that we purchased, but it was something that was purchased for us. After having 2 girls, we had a little boy, and everybody in our family, everybody we know, was excited for us because we were having a little boy, and they bought us the PPTP. Have you heard of this? It's a little teepee that you're supposed to, when you're changing their diaper, put on top of their man parts, and that way they won't go potty on you in between the diaper change, okay? My problem with this is a couple things. Number one, the only children that we have ever had that have actually, when you take the diaper off, that have actually peed during that time were my girls, not my boys. And it just makes a puddle everywhere and it's kind of a mess. Not only that, I have to wonder, when you take the diaper off, what are you doing in the time that you put the TP on and the time that you put on the next diaper that you needed to have a TP to begin with? I don't know. We don't change diapers where we let the baby just hang out. I don't know what people are doing with their time when there's this, like, I guess, gap between the old diaper coming off and the new diaper going on, that there's time to in between to put a TP on their boy parts. I don't know. This has never been a necessary item in our home. It's, I guess, cute. I think it's weird. And it's, again, what are you doing? You put it on and then you're just kind of waiting. I don't know what you're doing. So the way we change diapers, we put the new diaper under the old diaper before we even take off the old diaper. Then we take off the old diaper and immediately put the new one right back on. It's not a thing that it's off for very long. We wipe the baby, all of that, but it's still, I mean, you wouldn't be able to balance that and hold their legs up and all the things. So it's impractical. It is a regret. Not really a purchase regret because we didn't buy it, but it is a regret that was purchased for us. All right, guys, thanks for hanging in there with me and learning all about our growth as we have grown as parents from baby 1 to now baby 7, and the things that we have purchased and regretted. I hope it has been helpful for you. Stay tuned tomorrow to see the next video for baby week.